I'm going to give a lecture momentarily, and this lecture is a synopsis of a screenwriting workshop that I have taught over the years. And so it's a method. It's a method that is unique to me, and it may not work for you. I'm part of the spec generation, meaning I've written on speculation. I started out writing on spec, and I'm still writing on spec. That is a different kind of screenwriting than people who write for hire, because you're responsible to no one but your own calculations of what is valuable and what the market might be interested in. So no one says to you, you can't do that. So you have to be a little careful, because sometimes you say that to yourself. I'm a big believer in the oral tradition. I do not think screenwriting is part of the literary tradition. It's a form of telling, of storytelling. And so that part and parcel of the process is not writing, but it's talking and telling the story over and over again. And you can have a script that's extremely well written, and you can have the same story poorly written, and they can both be a great film. So it isn't so much about the writing itself as it is about the story. When I'm writing, I try only to think as a writer. I think of story, problem, metaphor, character, plot, dialogue. But I try not to think of images. And then when I come back to it as a director, now I think of images. And the image is not words. If I say to you, glass of water, that's 3 words. That's not a glass of water, that's 3 words. Here is a glass of water. That's a different thing. That's a different kind of idea. And that's how you have to start thinking if you're going to translate words into images. I've done 2 scripts that I didn't touch. Mostly I do rewrite them. But I did one by Harold Pinter, another by Bret Easton Ellis. And I liked the muscle, I liked the structure, I liked what they were doing. And I wanted to preserve it. On other occasions, I've completely rewritten the scripts. It's a case-by-case basis. Thinking about actors makes you a lazy writer, because you're no longer thinking about the character, thinking about a specific person. So you write a speech and you envision Al Pacino reading it, and you say, wow, that's a terrific speech. Well, it's not a terrific speech. Al's a terrific actor, and you shouldn't confuse the two. The hardest thing of all is always the same thing for every writer: exposition. Exposition is the bane of a writer's life. And how you can tuck it and hide it and disguise it. But the things that seem tough, like speeches, are in fact much easier than exposition. There's a certain physiognomy we associate with tortured men of the cloth. Montgomery Clift did, and Belmondo did it, and Pierre Morin. So you're looking at a certain body type. And so you start thinking, Jake Gyllenhaal, Oscar Isaac. But Ethan had 10 years on them. He was 10 years older. And he was a pretty boy for so long, he was starting now to become more interesting. And I said, I think Ethan's just about the right age now, just the right age for this. And I sent him the script, and he responded the next day. And so then we set out trying to find the money. Well, sometimes it's tempting to think, I'd like to be young again. I'd like to be, 25 and on the make with the future ahead of me. But then you think, well, I got lucky last time. That doesn't mean I'll get lucky next time. Maybe that's not such a great idea. If you can find a modicum of happiness in any other profession, do so.